just in time to witness a magnificent scientific experiment. I have managed to harness the very primal force of lightning at my beck and call. Now I shall use it to create life itself. Watch this. That was not quite the experimental result I expected. But never mind that. It is merely a momentary setback in the annals of science. I shall readjust the magnetic electrical stimulation system and try again another day.
You say hello to the scientist.
It is good to see you again. I trust the Antwerps gave you no trouble?
You start to tell Dr. Cranium about yourself and your adventures, but he quickly interrupts.
But there is nothing so adventurous as pursuing a career in science. Did you know, for instance, that simple scientific principles can be applied to the creation of potions for healing and curing poison?
You tell Dr. Cranium about your first adventures in the Spielberg Valley. He seems vaguely interested in your tales of the Baron and his children, but his eyes positively light up when you mention the Antwerp.
Ah, so you are the Spielberg hero. I went there on an Antwerp gathering expedition a few months ago. The people there are still talking about your adventures.
You continue by telling Dr. Cranium of your encounters with the eccentric wizard Erasmus, the deadly kobold magic user, and the ogress Baba Yaga.
Turned her into a frog? Oh, such poppycock. There is a perfectly straightforward scientific explanation for all of those events. There is no such thing as magic. Oh, I have been better. The failure of my MESS was a shocking experience, I can tell you. Understanding and harnessing the power of nature is just one aspect of science. By observing and performing experiments based on the observations, the scientist increases our understanding of the world around us. If you want to improve your stamina, then you should make sure you eat a healthy diet from all the different food groups and get plenty of aerobic exercise. That is science. Here you are, one freshly brewed healing drink. Sip it if you get hurt, and its beneficial vitamins and other ingredients will help your body to recover quickly. Here you are, one freshly brewed universal poison antidote. Oh, this is a sad, ignorant land where everyone seems to think more of magic than of science. Still, it is a good place for a scientist to work. There are many fascinating monsters to study, and I can get all the dead bodies I need. Antwerps are a truly fascinating species. They reproduce by splitting into a number of tiny Antwerps, each with their own genetic code. They cannot split voluntarily, however. They only reproduce when cut or stabbed. My test Antwerps came from Spielberg Valley, where there was an Antwerp population explosion last spring. I have come to the conclusion that lightning is electrical in nature, which would put it in the realm of fire. Fortunately, there have been an increasing number of storms here lately, so I have been able to harness some of the lightning and store it for experimental use. I am convinced that the primal force of life is electrical in nature. Of course, it must also involve water for life, and pizza, without which life would be boring. My neighbor Nikolai is not actually as old as he now appears. He has been very unhappy since his wife's disappearance some 15 years ago. I can understand his disappointment. She never brought me back the berries I needed for an experiment.
You say goodbye.
Oh, it is always a pleasure to have one such as you visit. Perhaps I should wait a day or two before resuming my Frankie experiment. It is very important that the right person stay in charge here.
These A heavy gate blocks the way to the winding road. Far in the distance, you can see a majestic castle.
Welcome to Moldavia. It's nice to have some fresh blood around here. We so seldom see strangers.
Far in the distance, you can see a grim but majestic castle. A heavy gate blocks the way to the winding road. Far in the distance, you can see a majestic castle. The gatekeeper is a gaunt, tired-looking man with deep-set eyes that stare intelligently at you.
It is so difficult to get past the swamp which blocks the pass to and from the valley. We haven't had a stranger here since the rains created the swamp several years ago. You've obviously done quite a lot for one person. It will be interesting to see what you do around here. I am Boris Stovich. This is the castle of the Boyars, the title of the rulers of Moldavia. It once belonged to the Borgov family for generations, but the last Borgov has been dead for many, many years. Moldavia is the name of this valley and of the town. Even the inn is called the Hotel Moldavia. The name means Dark Valley. The heads of the Borgov family were the Boyars of Moldavia for ages. The last Borgov disappeared at the time of darkness. No one knows what became of him. It is bad luck to even speak of the time of darkness. Moldavia was a safe and lovely land before that time. Much has changed since then, and for the worse. Boyars are rather like barons of other lands. They own the castle and protect everyone within their domain. I'm not certain who all lives in the castle. I so seldom see anyone from there. There's the master, of course. Then there's the strange foreigner. There's also the master's daughter, I believe, and some rather strange guards. Beyond that, I really can't say. I haven't actually seen the daughter. but I know the master is quite proud of her. The master desires privacy, and I respect that wish. As I always say, the will of the master is the shall of the servant. I wrote that. He is an unpleasant sort, with a short beard and moustache, and a funny hat. He is rude when giving orders, and he has the habit of staring at a person and licking his lips. Most unsavoury. I have only caught glimpses of them occasionally, but I don't think they are quite human. No matter. If a man does a good job, then whether he is a man does not matter. I am the gatekeeper of Borgov Castle. Is it not true that he who guards the gates is the keystone speaker? This is the gate to Borgov Castle. You can see it in the distance behind here. I am here to make certain that only welcome guests may enter through here in the daytime. At night, this gate is guarded by huge necrotaurs, who make certain no one tries to enter without permission. This is the gate to Borgov. The town of Mordavia is to the east of here. Turn to the east as you leave and continue until your way is blocked by rocks. Then turn north and you will find the gates of the town. Farewell, and may you find whatever you seek. Goodbye, young man. May the fireplace be warm and the drink cold at your journey's end.
Large deciduous trees make their stand among the pines. They know how to leaf well enough alone in the fall. You're in the northwest corner of the forest. To the north you can see the castle gate and the end of the road. While the road is now badly overgrown, you can tell that it once led to the east as well. You are near the northwestern corner of the forest. An overgrown road once ran east and west through this area. You can see part of the town wall to the northeast, and an ominous castle far to the north.
Still you remain. It is a wonder you have managed to live so long.
It's you again. It's been a quiet day so far. Made it back, did you? So what can I do for you this time? My sad departed husband. His name was Boris. Gone 3 years now. He was such a good man.
You tell Olga that the gatekeeper's name is Boris Stovich and ask if they're related.
Aha! So that's where the so-and-so went. Tell him he's a rotten old goodnik. expect you plan on going adventuring some more. Well, I suppose the gravedigger has some room left at the cemetery? As my husband used to say, come back again, sunshine or rain.
Welcome again. It is so good to speak with you as always. The woods around here seem almost frightening at times. When you arrive, I know it is only my imagination that makes me nervous. It is so difficult to get past the swamp which blocks the pass to and from the valley. We haven't had a stranger here since the rains created the swamp several years ago.
You tell Boris what Olga said about him. He blushes.
Olga was always opinionated. I grew tired of listening to her complain about me all the time. Farewell, and may you find whatever you seek. May the sun and the moon keep watch over you.
You again! Heard anything interesting lately? So, you haven't been eaten yet. We'll see how long you last traipsing about everywhere when you should be staying in this nice, safe town.
You tell Olga that Boris says she complains about him all the time.
Well, if he'd ever been here to get his work done instead of spending all his time carousing at the inn, I wouldn't have had to complain. And you can tell him I said so, huh? You take care. Don't want to see your funeral. You had that walk to the cemetery. As my husband used to say, come back again, sunshine or rain.
A fine autumn day to be walking. A man who walks everywhere will see much, I always say. It is so difficult to get past the swamp which blocks the pass to and from the valley. We haven't had a stranger here since the rains created the swamp several years ago.
Tell him that Olga thinks he was too lazy.
Lazy? What was there to do in a shop with no customers? Once the swamp cut off trade here, we had nothing to sell. I had nothing to do there, so just because I would sit at the inn and talk with the other men, she thought I was lazy. All she ever did was sit around and give me orders when I was in the shop. What was the point of dusting if no one came in the shop to notice the dust? Farewell, and may you find whatever you seek. Come back again sometime. It's good to have someone to talk to, besides myself.
Well now, what news do you have for me? So...
You tell Olga that Boris didn't like being ordered around all the time.
I wouldn't have had to order him around if he would only have done his work. I just wanted the shop to be neat and clean in case anyone came in. How does he expect me to do all the work around here by myself? This was his family's business after all. You take care. As my husband used to say, come back again, sunshine or rain.
Good day and welcome back. Have you been enjoying your adventures around here? It is so difficult.
You tell Boris that Olga is having trouble running the shop without him.
There is much to do to keep the shop straightened up. My family always worked together to keep it going before. If only Olga wouldn't nag me all the time. She and I used to enjoy running the shop when we actually had things to sell. What is the point of even running a shop when there is no business? Farewell. May your journey take you where you wish to go.
Back again so soon. What have you heard lately? So?
Tell Olga that Boris doesn't see any reason to keep the shop open when there's nothing left to sell.
No business. You just tell that man about my avocado and garlic sandwiches. People come in and buy them all the time. You take care. As my husband used to say, come back again, sunshine or rain.
Welcome again. It is so good to speak with you as always. It is so difficult to get past the swamp which...
You tell Boris about Olga's avocado and garlic sandwiches.
How I used to love her avocado and garlic sandwiches. We had them on our wedding night, you know. You should have seen the garlic and avocado flowers decorating our wedding cake. Oh, beautiful. And she baked the cake herself. Oh, she always was a good cook. You remind me of how much I miss my wife. I shall go back and visit her. I remember our wedding day. She was beautiful in her gown. She had even embroidered little garlic cloves and avocados around the edges. We danced the night away. Farewell. Farewell, and may your path lead to your goal.
back again so soon. So? Boris came back to visit me. We had a lot to talk about. He says he'll come back again after work. It was nice to see him. Seemed like old times. You take care. Yeah, good night, and don't let the bedbugs bite, as my husband used to say.
When the days are short and the nights grow long, a friendly face is a welcome sign. It is so... You know, it is nice to be able to snuggle with my Olga again on these cold nights. Thank you for getting us back together. Farewell, and may the sun...
You have entered an eerie, deserted graveyard. Strange moans wail through the trees, and mysterious lights seem to flicker and fade among the tombstones. Two large crypts dominate the cemetery. This gravestone is marked, "No effort could Elissa save. She passed into a watery grave. Her body was lost, only her memory remains." Here lies Janos, faithful forever to his lost true love, laid beside her empty grave. A fresh grave has recently been opened here. Two spare coffins await their customers here. Apparently Igor has finally managed to get ahead of business. An inscription on the door says, "House of Lygia Poe. May she rest forever." A heavy stone door seals off the Borgov family crypt. A relief carving on the door shows the crest of the House of Borgov. The inscription on this headstone reads, "Michael Med bumped his head in another man's bed. Now he's dead. Rest in peace." This headstone reads, On a dare, Pasha Sperry spent the night in the cemetery. Something gave him such a fright that now he sleeps here every night. Arkin Tenor walked at night. Arkin saw his final sight. Now the question seems to be, what in the world did Tenor see? Here lies the body of Carrie Nation, who answered a vampire's invitation. Now there's cause for lamentation, it was a fatal recreation. Here lies the spirit of Barney Blue, to his lover was untrue. So she knew just what to do, fixed herself some Barney stew. Tell the creature it's called the Leshy.
Ah, that's the price of too much fame. Now you've gone and guessed my name. Leshy, Leshy, look and see, in a bush or up a tree. Leshy, Leshy, riddle rhyme. Can you solve them every time? Two and two make six. A little bush is in a fix. If you save a plant from goo, I can help you with a clue.
To tell the Leshy, you guess it's some sort of bush.
Oh, you're just guessing. I want you to bring me a shrubbery.
A delicately crafted bonsai bush. You grab a handful of rocks. Igneous. You manage to knock a few of the rocks loose from the pile, although the remaining stones still dam up the pool. You knock some more rocks loose. The pile is definitely loosening. That last throw did it! The rock pile has collapsed and goo is oozing down from the pool. A narrow stream of viscous, gooey, grimy sludge oozes its way down the hillside. You slowly fill your flask with the greasy, grimy goo. You slowly fill your flask with the greasy, grimy goo.